Welcome to Real Life Food. Today we're going to be showing how to cook, prepare, wash greens. A lot of people don't use dark leafy green vegetables because they're not sure what to do with them. These things can be very scary and daunting because they're so big. I'm going to be talking about three types of greens: collard greens, Swiss chard, and kale, some of my very favorites because they're chock full of antioxidants and vitamins like vitamin A and C and K, and we need to be getting more dark leafy green vegetables in our diet. So it's very easy to do, but one of the tricks is actually preparing the greens before you cook them. So first I'm going to show you how you go about cutting and chopping greens. Let's start with the collard greens. What I do is I take the collard green leaves, as large as they are, and I pile them on top of one another. And then I roll them up. This is actually quite a simple way to kind of gain control of the greens so they aren't going everywhere. And then with a large knife, I cut them into ribbons. I'd say about 1/2-inch ribbons at the most. There's no set rule. You can do it however you'd like. And then many people like to get rid of these stems and chop those off, but actually the stems have a lot of nutrients in them as well, including a lot of fiber, so we can keep those in. I just cut off the very ends of those and discard those. Now we have our ribbons of collard greens, and what we want to do next is wash them. So I filled up a bowl of water, and I'm going to submerge the greens in the water, moving them around, helping to get any sediment off of the greens, which is going to fall to the bottom. If you have a salad spinner, you can also use a salad spinner to wash any of your greens or any lettuce leaves. That's also really helpful. But today we're keeping it really simple, submerging our greens in water. And then the next step is just to strain them out of the water. And that is simply how you prepare your greens before you cook them. We just showed how to chop and wash our greens for cooking, and now I'm going to demonstrate to you 3 very simple ways for cooking these dark leafy green vegetables. By far, the most simple method is boiling your greens. All you have to do is fill a pot of water and turn it on high and bring it to a boil, which is what we've done here. You can see the steam just coming off of there, and I'm going to take those freshly chopped and washed collard greens and just submerge them right into the boiling water. It's as simple as that. You can stir them around a little bit, and then what I like to do is put the cover back on and turn off the heat. I'll let them cook in the boiling, now simmering water for about 3-4 minutes at the most. You don't want to overcook them. And then once they're done, then we'll strain them through the colander. That's one of the easiest steps, boiling the greens. Another really easy thing to do is sauteing your greens. Sometimes this can add a little more flavor. And what you do here is you heat up a saucepan with, I've added about 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, and I've been heating this up for a little while. And what I'm going to do is add in our Swiss chard leaves to the olive oil. You can see that rainbow Swiss chard is really beautiful. It has a lot of antioxidants, and one reason you can tell is because of all the bright colored leaves and stems. I'm going to add that into our now warm saute pan. And it's really fun to also add some garlic. You can add ginger, depending on what flavors you want to add to the greens. So those are going to saute with the olive oil, and I can also cover those. You want to keep this at kind of a low to medium heat, around 4 or 5, and that's your second way of cooking your green vegetables. Now the third way to cook your green vegetables is to actually use a steamer basket, and instead of submerging them in the boiling water, I could have put the greens inside the steam basket and allowed the steam from the boiling water to come through the greens. The 2 different ways of doing this, what happens is, if the greens go in the boiling water, it actually adds more water to the greens. They're a little bit heavier, and steaming them causes them to have a little bit lighter flavor and texture. So it's really just personal preference. But these are the 3 simple ways to cooking your greens.